Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Becky and this is the Back to Blighty podcast where I talk about all things yarn related and a few other bits besides. So welcome if you are a new viewer and welcome if you're a returning viewer. It is lovely to have you with me today. I'm joining you from the south coast of England where I live with my partner and our house bunny Harvey. And I thought I would catch up with you because it has been a little while. A few reasons really. One, I lost my mojo for a little bit. And I think that was partly down to July being a really busy month for me. I work in social, emotional, mental health, and all the reports and everything for schools have to be in by the end of the academic year. And it just gets a bit frantic. So I lost my mojo for a bit. But since then, I have been on holiday and relaxing and getting some lovely crafty activities in. So I've got a few things to show you. Other things I've been up to, I had Jack and Jen down for a week and they came down from Newcastle. So for those of you who don't know, Jack is my son who also has a podcast, so I will pop the links to that down below, and his partner Jen, who is also a crafter and has a lovely podcast. They came down to visit and we had some nice days out. We went to Wakehurst, which I'll pop a bit of footage in at the end so you can have a look at that. And we also went to Bateman's, which is the home of Rudyard Kipling, and we went there because it was my dad's birthday and we decided to take him out for the day, which was lovely. So anyway, let's get on with the knitting content because I know that's why you're all here. I've got some knitting, some spinning. I have got some crochet on the go, but it's just a blanket that's a long old project. So I think that I'm probably not going to share that with you again today. I shall wait and get a bit more progress on that before I show you. I've got some spinning, got some acquisitions, and so I think we'll hop right in. So my first finished object is made out of some hand spun yarn. I spun up ages and ages ago, and it is just a basic Jason's Cashmere Hat in this lovely yarn, which is called Gin and Tonic, the colourway, but I can't remember what the fibre content was because it was so long ago that I spun it and I lost the label for it. So I just made a really basic Jason's Cashmere Hat with it. It's lovely and squidgy. I think it's probably going to be a gift for somebody. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It's a great pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, so do go and check it out. I don't even know the designer's name, so I will pop that on the screen. But yeah, so made a hat, and this is what got my mojo back again, I have to say. And this yarn has got some lovely tweedy neps in it. I don't know if you can see that. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, very happy with that one. The second finished object I've got is a pair of socks, and this is a Regia yarn by Arne and Carlos. Again, I can't remember what the yarn was, what the colourway was. I know it was their design line range, but they make these really gorgeous socks. They're not completely matching, but there's not a lot to really say about them. 2.25mm needles, 2x2 ribs, 64 stitches, afterthought heel and toe. I find doing afterthought heels and toes on this sort of yarn really difficult because it's hard to know where the line of stitches is to pick up. So I just pick up with my needle, and obviously because socks are knit in a spiral, sometimes the colour goes onto the row below, so they're a bit of a faff, to be honest. But I really love the colour. They look really nice and I'm really pleased with them. So yeah, just a basic sock for you there. Just make sure I'm in focus and it's focusing on me. You don't really want to see the plant in focus, do you? Okay, what else have I got? The third thing I made is finished, but the ends haven't been woven in yet, and this is for me. So I wanted a rabbit project because you will know if you saw my last podcast that we now have a house rabbit called Harvey, who is the most adorable little companion to have hopping around the house. And so I wanted a rabbit project. In fact, I'm just listening out because it is his sleep time. So rabbits are crepuscular, which means that they sleep mainly in the kind of middle of the day. And when they're asleep, they are out for the count. So he is completely comatose under the kitchen table. and he is stealth-like, but I'm just keeping an ear out just in case he wakes up and, you know, gets into a bit of mischief, as all baby animals do. He's 6 months old now, and he has a lovely temperament. He's really inquisitive, really curious, but he can get into a bit of mischief every now and then. Anyway, back to the knitting. So this is the Rabbity Hat, and this is a pattern by, I did write it down, Monazilla, who I think is Bunny Muff on Ravelry. Anyway, it's got these gorgeous bunnies on it. You get 2 options with the pattern, so I went with the ear up version, and the version that's sort of on the side. The other version, they look kind of like they're sitting facing you, but I went with this version, and then the other side there are trees all the way around, and I'm not sure if you can pick it up on this yarn. Oh, is that focusing? But it's really heathered. This is Jameson Smith 2-ply jumper weight. One of my favourite yarns, favourite commercial yarns, but it's kind of got this, although it looks blue from a distance, it's got these purples and, yeah, greeny hues in it. So I'm really pleased with that. I'll pop it on. Let's have a look. So it's kind of like a slouchy beanie. But yeah, I really like it. So I'm going to be wearing that loads in the winter, and now I have dodgy hair for the rest of the podcast. Okay, my final finished object is another pair of socks, and I've had this sock yarn in my stash about 2 years, and I'm kind of trying to use up bits of old stash, which is why I also made these socks. And I kind of think that if I use up the old things that have been languishing for a while, yeah, I might actually quite enjoy them, even though I don't really feel like knitting them. And this is one of those projects. So I knit some Fab Funky fibres up. You might need sunglasses. Watch your eyes, everybody, they're bright. Fab Funky fibres in the Tropical Twist colourway. And I love them. They are so gorgeous. So I'll come in for a close-up so you can see a bit more of the detail. Lovely. So I'm really pleased with these, and I did something a bit new with them as well. I did a sock snake, so I knit a cuff and then I knit the whole skein of yarn and then did another cuff and then split and did the heels and toes. And I think with a yarn like Fab Funky Fibres, it's so nice to see the stripes appearing that you never get bored. It never gets boring. So I absolutely love these. These are going to look great with a pair of jeans, and yeah, initially I wasn't keen on the colourway, believe it or not. I think it was this greeny blue. I kind of thought, oh, it's a bit bright for me, but now they're done, really happy. The heels, toes and cuffs, I used West Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's the KN colourway. It's the brightest red anyway. And so yes, I've got another pair of socks and really long legs. And I do like a long leg in the winter. I like long legs any time of year, to be honest with you. I'm quite short. I'm 5'4", so I'm not the tallest person in the world, and yeah, having long legs would be really nice. But I don't have long legs, so I'll have to have long leg socks instead. Going off on a tangent there. Okay, works in progress. I have done a bit on my Yule. I've done a lot on my Yule sweater since you last saw it, and I popped a picture on Instagram yesterday because I've done the steeks. So I cut my knitting and I'm so happy with this project. So I think last time I just started the arm steeks, and now I am racing away and I have just cast on the stitches for the neck, and I've done the steeks as well. So this is what it's looking like. So yeah, you can see the neck's on a needle. This looks tiny. It does go over my head. It just looks tiny on the needles. The fit is perfect. So this is a pattern by Susan Crawford from her Vintage Shetland project, which Jack bought me the book several years ago now, and I just adored this colourwork jumper. It is a labour of love. I've been doing it now for a good 2 years, I think. I'd really like it to be my Christmas jumper, especially as my lovely friend Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, who you all know, is doing her Christmas sweater knit along at the moment, and I kind of said to her, can I use this, because it's been languishing like for ages and ages. Well, not been languishing, but I've been kind of working it on and off. And she was like, yeah, that's great, but I'm not sure I'm even going to finish it for this Christmas, Ali, because there's so much colour work. Each row on one of these bodies was over 300 stitches, and when you're using kind of like 3mm needle, that takes a bit of going. Anyway, I have cut open my steeks, so I have now 2 armholes and obviously the neck. So there were 3 steeks to cut, and yeah, and it fits absolutely perfectly, which is good, because I did gauge swatch. I'm not a big fan of swatching. I kind of, if I'm doing like a cardigan or something, in fact I'll show you something in a minute that I didn't gauge swatch for, what I'll do is I will knit a bit of it and then check it and then see, because it doesn't bother me to rip out a bit. However, with this, after doing 1 by 1 rib on 2.75mm needles forever, I was not prepared to take the chance. So yeah, so the Yule sweater, the body is done. And yeah, so I'm now going to get on with the neck. I'm not sure about the neck. In the pattern, the neck has like a roll neck, and I don't like things here. I'm quite sensitive there. It kind of makes me feel like I'm being choked, and I don't like that. So I'm not sure. I might do, what I've done is I've done it on the larger size needles. It said to go down to the smaller needles around the neck. I didn't, so I've gone with the larger needles, and I'm going to try it on and see how I feel about it. If I don't have the roll neck, I think I'm just going to do a fold over collar. Is that the word? Neckband? Anyway, yeah, so we'll see. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I am so happy about that, and I absolutely love this pattern. What's so nice about it is that each one is different, so you never get bored, it never gets repetitive, but it does take a long time. So yeah, so that is coming on really nicely, and I'm very happy to have got those steeks out the way. In fact, I kind of felt a bit disappointed when I did the steeks, because I kind of build myself up for cutting a steek, and then I do it and it's like, oh, why did I do that? So I was a little bit disappointed, but thrilled to obviously have done it. Okay, what's next? Okay, so I cast on a new project, and I am using this yarn, which is Yanadelic by John Arbon, which is a gorgeous yarn. I've used it before, and it's this lovely plummy colour. It's coming out a bit lighter on camera than it is in real life. It's darker, it's much more like that. And I also got blue in, what's this called? This is called the Woman in Blue. So yeah. So these yarns, the Le Fleur I had in my stash, and I was going to make a vest with it, but I just couldn't find a vest pattern that I really liked. So I decided to knit a cardigan. However, I only had 3 skeins, so I had to get another one, and I also got a blue because the pattern is a lovely oversized cardigan and it has pockets, and inside the pockets is a different colour, so that's why I went for those. I have got past the armholes. It's hard to show you a cardigan when it's on your needles, but I've done this much. So I have got past the armholes now, and I'm now racing down the body. Now it is worked obviously as a cardigan, so it's knit 1 row, purl 1 row, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's got these lovely, the yarn really shows up details well. That's what I find with Yanadelic, is that it's really good for texture. So even little things like the raglan increases just look so lovely. So there you go. And they just stand out. They're beautiful. So yeah, so I am making the Alison cardigan, and that is patterned by Henna Fettig, and it's going to have blue inside the little patch pockets. I'll pop a picture on the screen so you can have a look at the finished garment, but I'm really liking it. Now this, I am using a slightly larger needle because I liked the way I made something else out of this, and I really liked the fabric. It's quite a nice drapey fabric. This yarn is Corriedale, so it's a long wool, so it does drape really, really nicely. and I didn't want to make it too rigid, so I went up a needle size. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it, and it turns out that the gauge isn't far off. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, so what I did is I did a little bit of this, and then because, you know, you are increasing, so it's not a massive amount, and so I used that as my swatch, and it's pretty much there. Okay, and that is living in a lovely bag that was given to me for my birthday by Jack and Jen. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that lovely? And I've got the tag inside actually, and it's by Wildwood Stitches. So yeah, I will pop a link to them below, but it's gorgeous, and it's got this lovely wool bottom. But alas, my cardigan isn't going to fit in it for very much longer because it's being squished in there at the moment, so I'm going to have to find a bigger bag for that project. Okay, so that's my Alison cardigan. The other couple of things, I've got my June blanket, which is my crochet blanket, and I've done kind of that much on that, and that's going really well, but I won't show it to you today because I think I showed it last time and it's the same old blanket. I don't really want to be kind of shoving it in your face every 5 minutes. And the other thing I have on the needles I can't talk about because I have started my Christmas knitting. So yeah, and the person that it's for will be watching. I've got a few Christmas gifts that I've got to make, so I've started really early. I never start now. I mean, I'm one of those people that tends to leave it to the last minute and then like really focus on something, but I've started. So who am I? What have you done with the normal Becky? So yeah, so I have started those as well. Now I have some spinning, and this is a spin that I've been working on for quite some time, and I've done one bobbin and I'm just spinning up the second bobbin now so that I can apply them together. I don't know what it is. It was fibre, I think, from Hilltop Cloud, but I can't be sure because it was so long ago. I think I got this last Christmas, and I can't find the label, so I'm not sure what the content is. Yeah, if I can find the label, I will pop it on the screen for you now. But this is the spin that I am currently working on, and I love these colours. It's kind of really autumnal and beautiful. So yeah, I'm working this up to kind of like a DK weight yarn. So yeah, I think it will make a really lovely hat or some kind of wrist warmers or something like that. That was like jazz hands then. Sorry about that. Okay, I have realised that I have forgotten an acquisition, so I'm going to nip off and just grab that. Right, I am back. Okay, so acquisition wise, I treated myself a little while ago to the lovely Emma of Elderwood Crafts bags, and I love Emma's bags. Everything she makes is so beautiful. So I got a couple myself. The first one I got is this lovely one. This is obviously full of vegetables, or it's not full of vegetables, but there's vegetables all over the bag, and as an allotment holder, that's really my thing. So yeah, so it's got a drawstring, and there's such good quality. It is full of dishcloth yarn at the moment and crochet hooks. Yeah, so I'm not using it currently, but I've got to put those things away and then get a project in that one. And the other one I got was, obviously, is it Harriet the Bunny? I can't remember, but I had to get a bunny bag as well, so I got this one. Because as a bunny owner, you can never have too many bunnies. So yes, so I got one of those as well. And inside here, I've actually got the yarn. I didn't tell you what yarn I used in my Rabbity Hat. So this is, I know that the beigey colour is called Stone, and the blue is FC14. So those are the colours in the Rabbity Hat. So you can really see those purpley hues now in that. You can tell I'm out of practice, can't you? Because we're sort of switching about all over the place, so forgive me for that. Okay, along with my lovely bag that Jack and Jen got me for my birthday, which was this one here, inside this bag they also got me some lovely yarn, and this is from Ainsworth Prynne, and it's Winter Berries, and it's their classic sock set, and I love these colours. It's too nice for socks. I'm gonna have to figure out what else I can make with it. So yeah, look at those colours, absolutely beautiful. So they are obviously fingering weight yarn, merino nylon. So yeah, I absolutely love this. In fact, this will go quite nicely with my cardigan, maybe a cowl. Yeah, so thank you, Jack and Jen. I absolutely loved my Christmas presents, and Jack got me an amazing card as well. But I'm not sure I've still got it. If I've got it, I will, got a picture of it, I will pop it on the screen now, because it was really funny and right up my street. So thank you, Jack and Jen, for those things. Okay, my other acquisition that I had to buy when I bought my Yanadelic from John Arbon, my extra skein and the blue one, I saw a set of minis, and again I had to buy this because it's down the allotment, and look at those colours. They are just beautiful. So yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of showing you. Let's do them that way. You see all those? They are lovely, and you can just see all these lovely different colours in them. They are beautiful. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but yeah, I spoilt myself. A little birthday treat to me, because why not? Okay, that is all my news, I think, as far as acquisitions go. Last time I completely forgot, and after I edited and everything, I realised I hadn't done any talking about any books that I was reading at the moment. So and I don't know where I quite got up to. I know I was reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and honestly it's one of my all-time favourite books that I've ever read. I absolutely loved every single moment of it, and when it ended, you have that aha moment. Yeah, it was really good. So if you haven't read Rebecca, do go and read it. It is just amazing. I hadn't seen the film, or I know Netflix a little while ago did a series or a film on Rebecca. I hadn't seen any of those, so I completely went in blind, and I'm so glad I did. So yeah, so I've been reading that, and I can't think off the top of my head what else I've been reading. I don't think there's been anything that's really kind of stood out to me, so we'll just start again as if that never happened. Anyway, so currently I am reading Lessons in Chemistry, which is a book by Bonnie Garmus, and this was suggested to me by some knitting friends, and I am really enjoying it. I'm not very far through, but I am enjoying it. It's quite a light read, and I'm quite enjoying the kind of feminine rights aspect of this book already. So yeah, so I will report back when I've read a bit more of that, or when I've finished it. The other book which I am devouring at the moment, because I absolutely love it, is by Kate Davis, and it's called Handy Woman. And Kate Davis is the knitwear designer, and she is possibly one of my favourite knitwear designers. She is so incredibly talented, and this book I just haven't been able to put down. It kind of focuses a little bit on when she was 36, she had a stroke due to a hole in her heart, and how she had to relearn everything again. And it's very inspiring, but I think what's so nice about it is actually it talks about her childhood and her life, and it is a memoir as well, and it's about her knitting journey and how she learned and what inspired her, and I am just so enjoying this book. So if you can get hold of it, I really recommend it. Yeah, lovely story, lovely book, really beautifully written as well as being beautifully written, it's also very down to earth, so it's really easily accessible. So really loving it. I just want to read it all the time, so do recommend that one. And then another one that I picked up because I don't know whether any of you noticed that this book had two buy one get one free stickers on it, but I also got Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which is by Gabrielle Zevin, and I just thought it looked like an interesting read. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that one as well. So the other thing that I've been spending a bit of time on, in fact there's two things I've been spending a bit of time on, but one of them I can't show you. I made a book nook, and for those of you that don't know, a book nook is like a little world that lives on your bookshelf in between books. So it's like a little model, and I've got it here. So this was mine, and I'm going to show you the inside. Now as you can see, there is a bunny on the floor. Because in my world, I wouldn't have a dog. Not anymore. I would have a bunny. So yeah, so it's just wonderful. And I added a few bits into this. See if I can give you another close-up. So there's kind of the upstairs bit. I hope you can see that. It's very difficult to show you all the details. And the downstairs, there's a fireplace. And then on this side, there's lots of books as well. So yeah. So I made a book nook for me, and I absolutely love it, and I loved making it. It was, yeah, just a really nice thing to do. Pop it down there. But I also made one for my lovely dad for his birthday, and I made him a nautical one because, as you know, he was in the Navy for many, many years. So I made him one too, which he really loves. So yeah, so I think that is all I have got to share with you today. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for, I had some really lovely messages asking if I was okay and that they were really looking forward to the podcast. So I hope you've enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me. Please leave a comment and like if you've enjoyed this video. I do try and get back to the comments, but it is really difficult, and I know there are some outstanding comments. I also have a surprise little vlog coming very soon as I have edited that, so I will get that up as well. And yeah, that is all from me today. So thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Take care.